Now, the next poem is much, much shorter, but with a much longer introduction. Now, earlier, I heard a wee lass talking about having sex with her husband or having to have sex with somebody or something like that. And I've heard a few people talking about husbands and wives, so I thought I should mention the Baron. Being a Baroness, I've got this old man of a Baron at home, but I managed to keep out of his way most of the time. But unfortunately, sometimes he catches up with me and he complains about the fact that we don't have any kids. And he insisted that we go for tests and things, and he accused me of being infertile. So we went for the tests, and it proved that it wasn't the Baroness that was barren, it was the Baron. Anyway, despite not having any kids, we do have a most remarkably fertile cat that recently gave birth to 27 kittens. And not knowing what to do with all these little bundles of joy, I consulted my friend, the Contessa von Starkendorf. And as we know, she can be quite a cruel Contessa, and this was her advice. Drown your kittens. This world is too serious for such frivolities. Shun their fluffy cuteness. Be deaf to their piteous cries. Ignore their useless clawing at your callous cardigan, and gently but firmly push their fuzzy heads under the water. She did in the end relent and in fact adopted 2 of them, so it's not so bad. Now, of course, being a Baroness, there have to be times when you roam the moors with some young person and go exploring and finding out things that you don't want to go and find out with your husband. So the next poem is about that. It's called, What Shall I Do with This Useless Love? What shall I do with this useless love? As I entered your house, unbridled excitement, as we drove, wanting to drive endlessly, to take you through 100 new places, to drive all night. As you styled my hair, it wasn't the hairdresser, by the way, honest, but anyway, as you styled my hair, nothing would have dragged me away. At the exhibition, the thrill that you might be seen as my companion or escort of some kind. At the bar, I began to burn again as you spoke and almost hinted that you knew. From then on, a certain insistent, intense quality pervaded the evening like some endless music. It continued into the restaurant where we sat, we two in a stolen evening and dwindling light. I burned with alcohol, spicy food, and with your eyes. At the studio, standing close by the fire, will we always be so close to it and never jump in? In the street, I ran with boundless energy. You tired more quickly. Flopping on a random couch, I accidentally had my head on your shoulder and would not have moved it for all the world. In the car, I kissed your ear and drove away. As I left your house, relief and disappointment, there was nothing to confess. Each time the burning grows more fierce. What shall I do with this useless love? How can I channel it except into poems which must not be written and certainly never read? Oops.